Welcome, everyone, to a glorious day. And it is glorious indeed. What must I do again? What must I do again? Let me remind you of what you must do again. Mark 11:24. Therefore, I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. So, what must I do again? Believe. What is the definition of believe? Accept something as true. It says assume, feel sure of the truth. Now, do you know what you must do again? Believe that whatever it is you say you are, that it is so. That's your job. One job. You have one job, just one. And your job today is to believe that you have received that which you prayed for. Well, how does one pray? We pray when we acknowledge what your desire is. Oh, you think you have to do it with words? Not with words. Mm-mm. That's that thing that comes from the deepest part of you, which is you, by the way. That deepest part of yourself. And it just says, this thing, I require this thing in my world. And that is your prayer. And once you've said it, you need to now assume it to be true. That's it. Because it is in the assumption that the thing solidifies. As within, so without, as above, so below. It is law. Whatever it is you assume to be true of yourself is what you will experience. Unfortunately, there's no way around that part. There's no way around it but through it. Through it. When you say to yourself, I want to experience this thing, well, then, believe that you have it. Know and assume that it is true. Be sure of it. That's it. Oh, but Angela, how do I do it? How do I just simply believe? You believe a thing or assume it to be true by going inward towards the law and not allowing your external circumstances to dictate your success or your failure. That is how we do it. Day in and day out. Because that's how we are already doing it. You understand? We are already doing it that way. You already have an assumption of yourself. And because you have that assumption of yourself that you believe to be true, you will act according to it. It will rule you, it will govern you because it is the blueprint. So, what is it that I must do again? Believe or assume that the thing you are creating is true and it is yours and it is done. Mark 11:24. Whatsoever ye ask for in prayer, believe that ye have received it, and ye shall. Notice the key word here. It's not just believe, right? But you're asking. What's the first thing we learned about asking, y'all? We learned that if we ask, we shall receive. That's the first thing we learned. And we are told also, if we seek, we shall find. And if we knock, the door shall be opened unto you. We learned that. We learned it. So, whatever it is you are asking for, that's your prayer. I really would like to experience dot, dot, dot. How would you behave if it were true? Well, then begin to behave that way. Begin to speak to yourself that way. Because it's true, is it not? You're believing that it is true. So if you're believing that it is true, well, then it has to be true. Why? Because the thing within is the thing you experience on the outside, or as Neville so eloquently put it, the impression determines the expression. So if you know that if you ask, you will receive, what you scared of? Oh dear. What are you possibly afraid of? You see, the fear, you can't even justify having it. You can't. Because it is irrational. It makes no sense, no logical sense for you to have it. And you know it. So, what is required of you? To believe that it is done. But, Angela, I can't see it. And this doubt is just ever present, creeping up in my mind. And it makes me feel like I'm nuts. Remember, we don't fight doubt, we listen. What's it saying to you? It's telling you that you already believe something else. So if you already believe something else, is it what you want to believe? No. Then what do you want to believe? And that's what you begin to enact in your life, because you're showing your body what it is you want to believe. You see, the old people in Barbados call it having a plaster for every sore, like having a band-aid for every cut then. To have a band-aid for every cut means that when something arises in your mind, you can shut it down with the fact, with the evidence of the law, instead of the evidence of your senses. That's what you have the capacity to do. You have a plaster for every sore this morning. Anything that wants to rear its head and say, "Wow, really? You're going to try that again, are you? You know how that turned out last time." You do not allow your memory to dictate what is possible and what is impossible. They are memories. They're things that you have experienced in the past. So your plaster for every sore is, whoa, man, this is a memory. I experienced this last time. And you know what? I don't want to experience it again. So what would I like to experience? What would it be like if? And you now start to imagine what would it be like if you were successful in your prayer. A beautiful thing happens, according to Neville Goddard. In his words, it is law what he says, but here's how he says it. Things wither and die for want of attention. You see your plaster for the sore of, oh my God, what if it happens this way again? What am I gonna do? That's where you put your attention. Polarity comes along and says, oh, where are you now? What are you doing? Is this what you want? And you say, no, polarity, it's not what I want, but here is what I want. And you delve right into, what would it be like if my prayer were answered right now? How would I see myself? How would others see me? What would I say to myself? What would others say to me? And you put your attention there, on the thing that you actually want to experience. Why? Because scripture tells you can't serve two masters. Hello. You cannot look at the thing you don't want and look at the thing you do want at the same time. The law of polarity tells you choose. Which way do you want that pendulum to swing in? Where do you want it to go? Point yourself in the direction of the fulfillment of your desire. And how do you point yourself there? By one, acknowledging that it is true and it is done. Mhm. And two, because now everything that fully consumes your mind is the what would it be like if? You know what? If this was true, this is what I would hear. You know what? If this was true, this is what I would see. If this was true, this is what I would experience. You have taken yourself from where you were to where you say you're going and who you are. And because you've taken yourself from there to the new destination, well, then, as within, so without, and you can only now become that thing that has your full attention. I will tell it to you every day until you gird your loins with it. So that it doesn't matter what situation arises, you're like, I know how to deal with this. Oh, look, there's another mountain. I know how to deal with that. Oh, look how wide the valley is. I know how to deal with that. Look at how deep that ocean is. That ain't got nothing on me. I know how to deal with that. What does the law tell you today? The law tells you today that you can climb any mountain. You can ford your way through any ocean and cross any valley. This is what the law is telling you day in and day out. And why does it tell it to you over and over and over again? Because faith comes by what now? Hearing the word. And the more you hear it, it is like flint against flint. A spark happens. Again, a spark happens. Again, a spark happens. Until the embers that you thought were cold begin to spark to life and ignite the fire that is within you. That is what the hearing of the word does to you and me day in and day out. It rubs you the right way and gets you all lit up so that you can do what? Practice what you heard. And what are you practicing? You are practicing that whatever it is that you ask for, do not get caught up in the fact that you're asking. You're not asking anybody outside of you. Remember, a question must always be answered. Why? Because every cause has an effect. The question is the cause. The desired outcome, the answer, is the effect. So if you have the cause, you have the effect as well. Because every cause has its effect. So when you ask, when you seek, and when you knock, you've found and you've been granted entrance. Not because I'm trying to make you feel good. No, because it is law. So the next time you say, well, who am I asking? It doesn't matter who or what you ask. Ask the question. Pray. Because that's what you're doing. You're asking. And you don't have to hope and wish. You have to know it is true. Every cause has its effect. And you have just whipped out a cause of prayer, of asking, of seeking, of knocking. Well, then the only response that can be given to you by way of law, well, is the desired effect. The question is within, and the answer is there. The impression brings about the expression. There's nothing for you to do other than when you pray, know that it is done. Because cause and effect travel together. You're not getting the cause today and the effect in 6 years. It is your belief in the fact that, oh my God, this is going to take forever. That is what makes it take as long as it does. That. So today, my beautiful friends, what must I do again? I must believe that whatsoever I ask for in prayer, I have it. Mark 11:24. There's no other way. Listen, I cannot dress it up for you. I can't dress it up any more beautiful than it already has been packaged. And how has it been packaged? The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. What does it mean when you hear that the all is mind? You are aware of something. And whatever you are aware of above, so must it be below, as within, so without. Again, if you assume yourself to be the orange, then squeezed, you can only be orange juice, as within, so without. So whatever it is you assume yourself to be, what are you aware of? That's why polarity. Where are you now? What are you doing? What is that you're aware of? And that's why you are always honest with yourself when you answer the question. Because whatever you are aware of is what you become. So that's why if you lie to yourself, the lie now becomes that cause. And it brings about its own effect. But the effect is not what you desired it to be. Be honest with yourself. You notice it says honest. It doesn't say judge yourself, beat yourself up. It doesn't say any of that. It just says be honest with yourself. Where are you now? What are you doing? So that you can clearly define where it is you want to be and what you want to be doing. So whatever the situation is this morning, again, if it be mountain, valley, or deepest ocean, acknowledge it. And then decide where you would like to be instead. And because you've made the decision and said, I want to be here and I want to be doing this, you've polarized yourself. You have moved yourself mentally. Do you understand? You've moved yourself mentally. Well, you have to move yourself mentally. The impression determines the expression. If you don't move yourself from the inside, the body does not know where to go on the outside. So you must move yourself mentally. Then the body follows. It has to, because every cause has an effect. You see how the law eradicates any excuse you can come up with? Oh, but I don't know enough, people. Oh, I'm not smart enough. Oh, I'm not pretty enough. The law says, and, and, and. It says here, hold my stars. Let me show you something. Let me show you who you are. And when the law shows us who we are, we want to get mad. The law can only show you the evidence of who you say you are. And this is why it tells you to always reach for the highest ideal of yourself. Oh, but my daddy says I can only be this. Oh, so daddy is now bigger than the law, is he? Listen, your job today, your mission today, should you choose to accept it, is this: believe that whatsoever you have asked for in prayer, that you have received it, and it is yours. Not because Angela is nuts and because you think she is, but because the law tells you that if you ask, you get an answer. You don't like the answer, change the question. Oh, but that's so hard. I don't know what to do. I don't even know where to begin. It begins by asking, what do you want to experience? Who do you want to be? That's where it starts. As soon as you ask that question, you have the answer in your heart and it comes out of your mouth. But you see, something along the way has caused us to say, but that's not possible. That can't happen. That's too big a dream. That's a pipe dream. You know how much stuff we've been through that taints the eye, taints the senses? But you know what cannot be tainted? The law cannot be tainted. It is always the same. It is everlasting. It is immutable. You can't change it. In order for the law to change, it would have to change itself. Just so we're aware of that. The law doesn't care. So assume your responsibility this morning. What is your responsibility again? With your gentle reminder, believe that whatsoever you have asked for in prayer, that you have received it. Listen, you cannot have a cause without bringing about the matching effect. Why? Correspondence tells you as above, so below, as within, so without. So again, you cannot plant carrots and get peas. So the cause, which is your question, the answer must match it. The law is not out here trying to pull a fast one on you, trying to pull the wool over your eyes and trick you. Nah, it says straight up, as above, so below, as within, so without. I'm going to give you what you say you are, period. So today, where do you begin? By simply answering the question: what do I want? Who do I want to be? What do I want to accomplish? And if you think you can come up with an excuse as to why you cannot, the law is not going to argue with you because it's not about that life. The law does not debate. It is what it is. The law is telling you today, listen, this is easy as pie, okay? Easy as ABC. The law is telling you it's as easy as that. So all you have to do is just accept it. So it doesn't matter what kind of excuse. It doesn't matter how elaborate you think your excuse is, how valid you think your excuse is. It doesn't matter your excuse. The law will, it's like this white hot fire that will just turn every excuse into ash. That's it. It'll burn every excuse away like dross. When you hold anything up to the light of the law, you will see it for what it truly is. Let us take a moment, shall we? Because I won't keep you long today. Who's in the house? Twitter, who we got up in here? We have C Staff, we have Jeff, and V22. It is so lovely to see you all today. It is, you know. YouTube and Facebook. Indy, Goddess Pure Diamond, The Better Man, Shea Butter, Cyber, Joaquin, Anot. Those of you who have made yourselves known in the chat, I see you. How good and pleasant it is to be with you again today. Fanbase, Allie, hey girl, comrade, my Melanin, Miss McQueen, Oracle Treehouse Coach, Zola. I see you. I see you. It is so good to be with you again today. Why am I fired up? You know, sometimes when you catch yourself doing dumb things, like wanting to entertain excuses, and you catch a glimpse of yourself and you go, whoa, slow your roll, heifer. What did you say? Oh yeah, that's exactly what I said to myself. That's exactly how I said it. I said, what did you say? What nonsense are you spewing? What are you telling yourself? Yeah. You got to catch yourself and redirect yourself from where you are presently towards where you say you want to be going. You are already at your destination. How many times did Abdullah tell Neville, you are in Barbados and you went first class? How many times did he say it to him? Heaven only knows. But at some point in our lives, we're going to have to just simply accept the fact that the thing that you are creating is true and that it is yours and that it is done. At some point. Because if you don't, oh God, the struggle is real, y'all. Can you imagine? We out here fighting in these streets because we're like, I must be this way. I must do this. Accept it then. Accept it. It is yours. Open your hand to receive it. You know, supine. The palm is facing up. More soup, please. Supine. That palm is open and facing upward to do what? To receive. And when you receive, what you say? Thank you. You know how we train our children to say please and thank you. Yeah, but we don't want to say thank you for the thing that we've received. Because we don't believe that we've received it. So today, you better know that it is yours. Aw, did you see synchronicities? Did you see coincidences? That's just the unfolding of the direction that you're going in. That's all it is. It's telling you you've pointed yourself successfully in the right direction. Keep going. And how do you keep going in that direction? Mental diet. The mental impression becomes the physical expression. The mental impression becomes the physical expression. Oh, but it's so hard. The work is mental. To get yourself mentally from the dredges or the bowels of hell. That's it. Get yourself from there mentally. And your body will move according to how you direct it mentally. But you've got to make that. You can't be out here in these streets say you're fighting to break the mirror because you don't like the reflection. You have to change the thing that's casting the reflection. When you change the thing, then when you look in the mirror, it has changed. Oh, but what if I can't change? What if I'm too old? Listen, it doesn't matter how many excuses you can come up with. It doesn't matter. The law is going to tell you the same thing today that it told you yesterday. Where are you now and what are you doing? Where would you prefer to be and what would you prefer to be doing? Period. You think it's going to ask you that question and then not have a viable answer? Nah. The minute you ask, you have received. Why? Because every cause has its effect and every effect its cause. It's not something you have to try and put together. You just have to know that you reap what you have sown. But the thing that you have sown is the predictor of the harvest that you will reap. So what seeds are you sowing today? They come by way of your mental conversations. The conversation can only be mental because the all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. You see how it always comes back to you? You are the one casting that reflection. You are the one standing in front of the mirror. So obviously when you open your eyes, you have to see you. And when you see you, you get to decide, oh, do I like it? Oh, this is nice. Or perhaps, let me change this. Let me change that. Let me modify this. Well, then begin to modify your behavior mentally. Because when you do it there, it has to express itself on the outside. Sonia, darling, I see you. That is the simplicity of it. But we've been taught that stuff should be complex. It's like that kid who fixes the Rubik's Cube in how many minutes? And you're looking at him like, wait, what? You know what he knows? The formula. He knows the law of the thing. And that's what makes it simple for him to accomplish his task. He has applied the law. Yeah, I call it mathematics and the numbers. Either way, he applied the law to bring about his success in fixing that Rubik's Cube. And we out here like, oh my God, he makes it look so easy. Well, I can't even fathom doing that. And that's the problem. You can't fathom yourself doing it, and that's why you don't do it, because you can't see yourself doing it. You must see it in your mind. The impression brings about the expression. But hey, I'm not here to preach. I am simply here to tell you anything you want, you got it. Anything you need, you got it. Anything at all, you got it, baby. Anything. You just got to see it. The impression must be in your mind. So you have something to copy so it expresses. It. That's it. So, Sonia, girl, I am looking. I should not call you girl. Come on. As my grandmother would say, I am not one of your friends. It is good to have you back, Sonia. Marjorie, darling. Let us get the bowl. The better man. You better stop. Yeah, here calling me Beyonce. You're crazy. Listen. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. How? Know what you want. Because the impression will bring about the expression. The expression cannot be there without the impression. So, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Let me get this bowl. Let me get the bowl. Because it's raining outside. And I want to take full advantage of that. Because it is so soothing to be in the rain. And I want to take my chicken out into, well, not, we're not going to be in the rain. We'll be on the porch, but I digress. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2. Jeff, V22, Roo, C staff. 1. Much love to you all. And I'll see you again. Twitter. My Twitter friends. I'll see you again. Twitter is closed. YouTube and Facebook. It is so good to have spent time with you again today, my beautiful friends. Asanya, Marjorie, Goddess Pure Diamond, the Better Man Shea, Butter Cyber Joaquin. And for the others who've not made themselves known in the chat, I see you. And for the replay gang, you know I love you. I'll see you. What are we, noon today? No, we're not noon today. That's tomorrow. But at 9:45 p.m., we'll hit the bowl. Eastern Standard Time tonight. And right after that, we will continue with Your Faith is Your Fortune, Chapter 6. Yes, indeed we shall. Miss M. Oh, you were right on time. There you go. Oh, Bayomi Price. Welcome. Welcome. Good things happen when we linger, don't we? It is good to see you all. It is good. All right, y'all. I'm going to close this because I love you. All right, YouTube and Facebook. Peace out.